Hello, amazing and fabulous girls and boys, to the show called Spotlight. And before I go on any further, I'd like to greet you all a belated happy Memorial's Day. And this is dedicated to all those men and women who have not, unfortunately, have not gone back to their homes. So this is a Memorial Day for you. Your great sacrifice has not gone in vain. So we honor all of you who have passed away and who have sacrificed themselves for this awesome country, the USA. So today, my main and fabulous topic is the passing away, the death of an icon, Miss Tina Turner, who is known for her great big hits as What's Love Got to Do With It, and Private Dancer, and a host of my favorite songs like Typical Male, When the Right Man Comes Along, and not to mention that the theme song that she did for that James Bond movie, Golden Eye. So Tina Turner was born in 1939 in Brownsville, Tennessee, and she is famously known for her neighborhood called Natbush, and which she created a song a long time ago in Natbush City Limits. And as you all know, Tina, well, some of you know, at least my generation knows, that Tina Turner rose into stardom between the years of 1983 and 1984. That was the year of the icon. We had, during that time, we had Madonna, Cyndi Lauper, the group called the Eurythmics, where Annie Lennox became really famous, and Michael Jackson, and all these famous superstar icons became famous all at the same time. It was just like all the stars aligned, and all these talented and skilled people just rose into stardom. Well, in Tina's case, she was already famous back in the 60s, before there was a Beyonce and Rihanna. And Tina Turner graced the stage in her sexy outfits, and she was the only one back in the day that not only sang, but also danced on stage. And back in the day, back in the 60s, some of you know that Tina was with her husband, the former Ike Turner. And so they had this dynamic duo going on, the Ike and Tina back in the day. And of course, nobody knew what was going on in her life, that she was an abused and battered housewife. It got so bad that one day, even without any money, she just decided to leave and forsake that relationship behind, and she had to work from ground zero, no money. But the only thing that she retained, and she fought in the courts with Ike Turner. Ike Turner got all the money and the rights and everything, but Tina Turner was able to retain her name, Tina Turner. And with that, a few years after her divorce, her rising star took off, and she became even more famous than she was before. She became such a phenomenal star with What's Love Got to Do With It. And incidentally, she said that she actually didn't like that song that was composed for her, because You know, Tina Turner was known for her rock and roll songs like River Deep, Mountain High, and also she was popularly known for her song Proud Mary, which was originally, composed with Ike Turner. And then, of course, when she went on her own, she made that song her own. So everybody from the 60s, the 70s knows Tina Turner for her song Proud Mary. Big wheel keep on turning, Proud Mary keep on burning. So I guess you know that song. So, and then later on, you know, River Deep and Mountain High was re-sang by Celine Dion in one of her amazing albums, and it's one of my favorite songs of Tina Turner when she used to be with Ike. And so Tina Turner not only became a big star in 84 and in the 80s and 90s, but she also starred and appeared in a Mad Max movie, and her character's name was called Entity. And she also sang the theme song to the movie Mad Max, which she starred with the handsome hunk back in the 80s and 90s, Mel Gibson, and I believe she had other movies as well. And she just kept on rising and rising. And Tina finally decided to come up with a book which is called I Tina, which is a very eye-opening book about her abusive life with Ike Turner. And that book became a #1 bestseller hit that it was turned into a movie. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it was Disney decided to make that movie with Angela Bassett appeared as Tina Turner. And also, oh my gosh, I can't believe I forgot the name of the actor who played Ike, because I should know him, because he's Samuel L. Jackson. Thank you. Because Samuel L. Jackson plays Nick Fury in all the Marvel movies. How could I not know this? Shame on me. So anyhow, Samuel L. Jackson played Ike Turner, the abusive husband, and I showed my director Maria, you know, it was a spoilers alert for her, the end of the movie when Tina Turner finally decided to leave that whole nightmare behind and go on her own. And so Tina Turner not only became a big star, she also became an advocate for people, men and women that have gone through physically abusive relationships. And she did not know this at the time, but people were able to relate to her story. And that's why she became even more famous. And also, where am I going with this? Because I am so overwhelmed with Tina Turner right now. I mean, she is just so amazing. And the thing that I find fascinating about Tina Turner is that she did not even like the way she sounded, because she said that she sounded like a man. And therefore, that's what Ike Turner did. Okay, you sound like a man, well, therefore, sing as a man. And some musical composer also said, oh, you sound like dirt screaming. That's what your voice sounds like. And so nobody in this world, in the past, in the present, and like right now, nobody has the type of voice as Tina Turner has. It's either you love it or you hate it, and there's no in between. I happen to love her voice. And I mean, I knew who she was back in the day because I still remember that special that she did with Anne Margaret back in the mid 70s. I knew Tina Turner was. And I remember Tina Turner back in the day in the 70s. She had like long, straight hair. But what came shocking is that when she appeared in her video of What's Love Got to Do With It in the mid 80s, and she came out with that bombastic hairdo that nobody had that hairdo except for her. You know, her hair alone became so iconic. She was the only star that had that type of hair, that every time that an actress, you know, wore that type of wig, they automatically knew that they were copying Tina Turner. And also her legs were so famous that she insured her legs in Lloyd's of London, I believe, to the tune of $3 million. Her legs were insured because everybody adored Tina Turner's legs, most especially when she danced. You know, I don't know if I can dance like Tina Turner. I remember Beyonce going down the stairs and doing this. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's Tina Turner all the way around. And so there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. This was the first segment of Spotlight. And when we come back, hopefully I'm going to have a guest. All right. See you on the second segment.
This show is brought to you by Modern Word Ministries. This show is brought to you by Modern Word Ministries.
Traditional TV is going away. Hollywood is starting to fade. People are demanding real stories from real people. Our voices are now being heard in our own way. Podcasts, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok Live are becoming the norm. Internet TV has now reached the highest demand in human history. Social media shows is now the new media of the century. Traditional TV is going away. Hollywood is starting to fade. People are demanding real stories from real people.
Shopping for a new home is an exciting time, and the mortgage process just got easier. New American Funding's all-digital mortgage application takes all the hassle out of applying for a mortgage. Simply put in your information and we do the rest. Safely and securely verify your income, assets, and tax information electronically. Plus, you get access to track the progress of your application anytime, anywhere. Less questions, less paperwork, less hassle, and instant access. Ready to start shopping for your new home? Let's get started. Shopping for a new home is an exciting time, and the mortgage process just got easier. New American Funding's all-digital mortgage application takes all the hassle out of applying for a mortgage. Simply put in your information and we do the rest. Safely and securely verify your income, assets.
And welcome back to the second segment of Spotlight. And for those of you who have just tuned in, I am paying tribute to the late, great Tina Turner, who just passed away a few weeks ago. And in this second segment, I'd like to speak about the fame of Tina Turner and how many concerts she had. And I think finally in 2009, that was her last concert. But before that, she became good friends with Oprah Winfrey and Gail, Oprah's friend. They were like Oprah was like a groupie to Tina Turner, and as if her life couldn't get any better, she found love back in 1986. So I believe she was in Germany. And so the executive of EMI Records went over there to pick her up, and the moment that they saw each other, it was love at first sight. And his name was Erwin Bach. And they had such a beautiful life. To cut a long story short, it was like a whirlwind of romance, and they were courting each other until finally Tina Turner had the gumption of telling him, can you just imagine? She was the one that told him, when I meet you in California, I want you to make love to me. That's, and he was in shock. And naturally, when they went to California, to cut a long story short, they met each other and they kissed, and the rest is history. After that monumental kiss between Tina Turner and Erwin Bach. And they had a beautiful fairy tale life together. I believe they had a beautiful mansion in Germany, somewhere in Germany. And she had a fabulous house in the French Riviera. And then later on, Erwin Bach, they didn't get married for a long time. They actually got married 10 years before she passed away. And so they moved to Zurich, Switzerland. And according to Tina Turner, she loved Europe more than America, because according to her, that in Europe she was just as famous as Madonna. And I would highly disagree with what she says. I mean, it's the smidgen of insecurity right there, because Tina, if you're listening, you don't need to compare yourself to Madonna, because you are Tina freaking Turner. Like there's nobody else like you. You are the only one. You are an icon. So don't even compare yourself to Madonna. Okay? Madonna is Madonna, but you are the goddess of rock and roll. And nobody could take the place of the goddess of rock and roll, but Tina Turner. And so anyhow, the sad part is that I believe it was 10 years ago she got married to Erwin Bach and had a beautiful, beautiful fairy tale like wedding at the French Riviera. Naturally, Oprah was there, and it was a star-studded event, and she was even peeking through the window of all her guests pouring in, and she wore a black wedding gown designed by Armani. Armani, by the way, was one of her favorite designers, but she also collaborated with Versace, with Gianni Versace when Versace was still alive. And also she collaborated with Azzedine Alaïa, who became famous back in the 80s for his designs for Grace Jones in that the James Bond movie, A View to a Kill. So, yes. So anyhow, as she was with Erwin Bach, unfortunately, her health started to deteriorate. And I think she had like kidney problems, and she had a dialysis. and her Prince Charming, Erwin Bach, saved her by donating part of his kidney. And, I mean, thank goodness that he was such a gallant and, giving kind of guy, and her life was extended 10 years more. And at 83, she passed away at 83. And the only thing that I can say is that Tina Turner, your music is going to last forever. I'm sorry, I wasn't expecting to be this emotional, but your music is gonna last forever. And it's funny that I was playing your music a few days before you passed away. And also I'd like to give a shout out to my best friend Eric in the Philippines, who was the one who really turned me into a fan, because my friend Eric was obsessed, beyond obsessed. Oh my gosh, I need an Academy Award for this. So anyhow, I wasn't expecting this. So anyhow, this is not a farewell. You will always be remembered, and your music shall live on forever and ever in the hearts of your fans. Farewell now, fabulous boys and girls.